All right, let's talk about something we all do every single day, buying stuff. Today, we're gonna dive into the really weird and kind of wonderful world of why we buy what we buy. And we're gonna unpack a big idea that might just change how you look at every purchase you ever make again.
You've heard this a million times, right? The customer is king. It's like the first rule of Business 101. It's posted in break rooms everywhere. The idea is simple. In the big marketplace of life, the person holding the money, well, they're the one wearing the crown. Sounds pretty straightforward.
But here's where it gets really interesting. If we're all kings and queens, why do we act so strangely? I mean, we're not exactly decisive, rational rulers, are we? This little contradiction is the puzzle we're gonna solve today.
So let's just jump right in and take a closer look at this whole royal problem. Is the customer really a king in the way we think?
I mean, just think about it for a second. A real king is supposed to be powerful, clear, rational. But us, as customers, we buy kitchen gadgets we use once. We pick the sugary drink when we know we should drink water. We tell researchers we want one thing, but then our bank statements tell a completely different story. That doesn't sound very regal, does it?
So the reason for all this apparent chaos isn't that the king is, broken. It's because there's basically a civil war happening inside the kingdom, inside our heads. It's a constant battle between two powerful forces, and they're both fighting for control of the throne. And what's at the very heart of that battle? It's the oldest struggle in the book, the epic fight between what we want and what we actually need.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got your needs, super simple logical stuff. Food, water, a roof over your head, they're all about function. But then you've got wants. And wants are emotional, they're personal, and they are way, way more complicated. You don't need that $10 coffee, you want it. You don't need those designer shoes, you desire them. See the difference?
And boom, this quote just nails it. This is the engine of pretty much our entire modern economy. For a lot of us, our basic needs are more or less met. The real action, the place where all the money is made and all the brands are fighting it out, is built almost entirely around figuring out and feeding our wants.
So this brings us to a whole new way of looking at ourselves as shoppers. Maybe we should stop seeing our own behavior as illogical or flawed. Maybe it's time to just embrace the irrational.
Just look at this list. Every single one of these is a huge win for want over need. Paying extra for a brand? That's not because it works better, it's because of how it makes you feel. Grabbing that candy bar at the checkout, total impulse. It's not a logical decision, it's pure emotion. It's about status, it's about what's cool right now.
And here is the big takeaway. We've been looking at this all wrong. We're not failing at being rational robots. We are absolutely succeeding at being complex, emotional humans. Our choices are this rich, messy mix of feelings, social pressure, and really deep desires.
Okay, so if the customer is king model is kind of busted, what do we replace it with? Well, allow me to introduce a much better, much more accurate idea, the sovereign consumer.
Now, what is that? Think about it. A sovereign doesn't just bark simple orders. A sovereign has to manage a really complex kingdom, full of competing advisors, foreign pressures, and their own moods. That's us. We rule over our own personal kingdom of choices, and every decision to buy something is a result of a really complex negotiation going on inside.
So, how does this sovereign operate? Well, first, they get that wants are often way more powerful than needs. Second, they know that feelings, not just facts, are usually in the driver's seat. And third, every single choice they make happens in their own unique world, their culture, their budget, what they believe in.
And this right here is the absolute game changer. A king just wants you to obey. A sovereign needs to be understood. You can't just give them the functional thing they need. You have to connect with what they want, what they feel, and who they are.
Okay, this is a cool model, but so what? How does this actually apply to you in the real world, whether you're the one buying or the one selling?
Well, for us as consumers, it's really a call to be more self-aware, right? If you know your urge for that new phone is really about a want for status, not just a need for a phone, you can make a smarter choice. And for businesses, the lesson is crystal clear. Stop just listing specs and features. Start telling a story. Sell the feeling, sell the experience. Build a brand that a sovereign consumer would actually want to be allies with.
So I'll leave you with this question. As the complex, sovereign ruler of your own little kingdom of choices, with wants and needs constantly battling it out, what wonderfully illogical want are you going to choose to satisfy today, and why?
The answer to that question tells a really cool story about who you actually are. Thanks for joining me.